Hello everyone, this is Karen from Karen Saver Tarot. How are we today? So today I am going to discuss another card that belong to the minor arcana cards, and this is one of those cards that I believe needs to be, offered a new perspective of, and I'm talking about the Three of Swords. So why the Three of Swords? Because a lot of people, when they see this come up in their reading, they feel not scared, but they feel very, very sad about it. And it creates a lot of emotions that aren't really necessary in my view. And the purpose of this video is for me to discuss in depth what the Three of Swords is about and why it shows up in your card reading. So before I go ahead and do that, I would like you to have a closer look into the Three of Swords. So this is from the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And if you are new to tarot and learning tarot using the Rider-Waite system, or if you have a deck with you that uses the Rider-Waite system, this particular illustration is very common, usually has three swords and a heart in it. Does not necessarily have to look exactly the way it is, but the concept is there's a heart and there's three swords pierced through the heart. So anybody who is new to tarot, or anyone who has gone through a reading using the Rider-Waite tarot, and they have this in the reading, naturally they will feel scared as well and sad because it doesn't look good from the picture, and I totally understand that. But the good thing is that the tarot cards in the tarot deck isn't there to scare you. It's not there to hurt you or make you sad. It is always there to provide advice, and it's not only about fortune telling or prediction. It is more than that. So pause the video, have some time to look into the cards, and when you do, please look into the cards and check how you feel when you see this particular card, and what emotions does this particular card give you, and what's noticeable, what objects or what things appeal strikingly for you when you see this card. And then pause the card for a few minutes and then unpause it as soon as you're done. All right, so I've assumed that you've already taken the time to pause the video and had a look at the cards, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords belong to the sword suit, and this particular card is from the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So I will be discussing first what I see in the cards and how it relates to the question, to how it relates when it comes up to your reading, or what it means generally. So first things first, the color of the cards. If you'd noticed, the very striking object that you see here is the shape of a heart and the color of the heart, which is red. And it's so very obvious because it's the only color that is different from the rest. The rest of the card's color is gray. You notice here the background is gray, and there are gray clouds as well, and then it looks as well that it's raining. It looks to me like it's raining or possibly drizzling. So I will ask you the same question. What do you feel when you see this picture? So I, for myself, see that this particular situation here, based on the atmosphere itself and the color gray, is about desolation and loneliness and isolation. So why do I say that? It's the impression that I get from the card, and then aside from that, it is being also magnified. The desolation and isolation and loneliness is magnified by the picture of the heart, not just because of the heart itself, but because of the Three of Swords that's being pierced here. It's like, if you realize the I love you, these Three of Swords is taking that back. I pierce, love pierce, you pierce. And it's just heartbreak. That's how I see the card. So, Three of Swords. Swords about conflict, and it's also about intellect, and it's also about communication. But in this particular situation, generally, when this comes up in a reading, it usually is something to do about loss, and possibly because of conflict or for whatever reason uh, that existed, it resulted to a certain degree of loss and hurt, and it can also be sadness. So when you see this come up in your reading, dependent on the context of the question that you've asked the cards and how it relates to the rest of the spread, if it's more than one card spread, um, you have to remember that this is probably just a stage, or this is a stage that you need to go through, and you experience some form of loss and disappointment and hurt. And um, you need to remember too that every one of us experiences loss, experiences disappointment, experiences hurt. And seriously, it is not easy to accept, and it takes time to grieve. So we have this part of grieving, and we have this stage of healing. But this particular card is obviously something that needs to takes a lot of time to grieve. So it's telling you, when this shows up, if you need to experience the loss, please do so. It's just part of the entire process of healing. That part that is called grieving. So it does not mean that you're going to grieve forever. It also means that um, if you're experiencing some loss, truly, it doesn't stay that way. So things happen, but they move. Our energies move. We go through life. It doesn't stop. And that's the thing that is very comforting for this particular card, because though we experience hurt and disappointment, it doesn't stop there. We cannot just keep on hurting and grieving. So we have free will, and the tarot acknowledges that. So because we have free will, we can choose how we would like to have our life move on from that grief and from that loss and from that disappointment. So when you experience, or when you have this in your reading and you're experiencing disappointment and loss and heartache, um, you have the choice. So know that you have the choice to move on from it. We also have the choice to grieve, which is perfectly normal. But know that you have the choice to move on from it. So this is what the Three of Swords mean when it comes up in a reading. It's also a comforting message that it doesn't have to stay this way, and you have the power to choose how you would like to proceed from here. So I hope this particular card and discussion of this card offers a new perspective. And at the same time, if you would like to know more about the other cards that, spells doom and gloom and scary cards of the tarot, I have my previous videos to discuss that. And I will be doing more. If you have any comments or suggestions regarding future videos that I could share with you, please comment. You know how to comment just below in this video. And if you'd like personal readings from me, you can always email me. Check my description box for my email address. And that's it for now. Have a good day.